Hello, everybody. How's it going? How's it going? What's going on out there, Sofa Squad? If you could, pretty please, drop a one down in the comment section for me, pretty please. That way I know I'm talking to other people besides myself, although I do talk to myself, and I definitely answer. I hope y'all are doing well. I do appreciate everybody showing up. I'm always surprised that everybody does. Yeah, well, cool. I like that. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you, Brandon. I do appreciate it. And hello, Tori, and hello, Indy. And Indy, I hope you are feeling much better. I'm glad to see you up and running again, or, proverbially see or whatever. Hey, Sandy, how's it going? Hey, Carly. Hey, Christine. Hey, Mama P. Hey, Brimbo. Hey, Observation Station. I hope everybody's doing well. Hey, with respect. Hey, RJB. Tuxa. How's it going, Cindy? All these familiar names. That's good to see y'all. Hey, Kathy, what's going on? I hope everybody's doing well. John, how's it going? Debbie. Hello, hello, hello. What's everybody up to? I hope y'all are doing well. So today we're going to be going over several different things. We'll start with the CEO stuff. With that, because hey, Audrey, how's it going? Because that's just popping off all over the place. It's crazy. I need to quit talking with my hand in my chin. Hey, Shayna, how's it going? So we'll start with that. We'll move to Jay-Z and then we'll finish off with Lori. Oh, I was like, what is that noise? I forgot I had got the coffee going. Now, y'all look, okay, this is what I was talking about in the room. And I was like, especially if you're here, what was that? When we do the book club, Sunday or what it is Monday? Okay. So yesterday for the book club, if you already know, look at what I got for tonight. This is bad. You're gonna be like, Paul, seriously? Really? You're gonna do all that? Yeah, I am. Yeah. Last night for our members book club, I had saw this at the grocery store, but it was the chocolate decadent one. Already polished it off. Already polished it off. Had to go back to the store today and was like, they've got the original whip, but we couldn't leave it at that. Please. Not even open, either of them. I could just eat this out of the thing. Um, I polished that chocolate one off this morning. So once we make it to Lori, I'm gonna dive into that because it'll be finished doing its thing. So we're doing a Golden Girl style over here, okay? But that's it. So I hope everybody's doing well. So let's go ahead and start talking about the CEO, and what I'm talking about is United Healthcare. Now, here's the thing. I did like a quick little thing on it today when it sounded like they nabbed the guy, which it definitely sounds like it's a dude. We're gonna go over here in a second. This It's not funny, but like literally the comment section's not even on my thing and social media in general. I'm just like, oh yeah, the strawberries will be good with this, Brand. Are sending me, okay? Because literally I'm just like, oh my God, like it's never good, like, this money gets killed, okay? But it really speaks to like people, like kind of, I think where a lot of stuff is, where, the way people are commenting on this and whatnot, right? With healthcare and specifically here in the United States, right? Um, so yeah, it's crazy. So, anyways, let me pull up. I have an article pulled up, and we're gonna start going through it. It's like a good like kind of timeline of whatever, because this is like breaking like constantly, right? Like he's doing an arraignment tonight. Like, I mean, this is just like popping off. It was so mysterious because when this happened, it seemed very calculated, very like, a hit, right? And so as we've learned more about this and we're getting more and more and more, um, information coming in, we're seeing that it's like, yeah, there does seem to be signs of he had, potential motive of like, grandparents that passed in the last several years, maybe a healthcare situation. Because a lot of people like talking about this for like, is this somebody who, had a loved one who got screwed over by United? A lot of people don't like United, right? Healthcare, whatever, insurance, whatever you want to call it. Sandy says, I heard the CEO had done some dirty things to people. I mean, yeah, and United has a pretty bad reputation amongst insurance companies. Um, I mean, it's not one of the nicer names, right? Insurance companies are very, it's very different here in America where they're just like kind of unleashed and out of control, and so some of them are just way more than the other. Yeah, Down Under says United Health is one of the worst. I mean, it is, right? Now, I don't know if any of y'all notice this before you get going, but hold on. Hey, Matt, you know the thing you were telling me about with the was it Blue Cross Blue Shield that did the they rolled back the comment about we're not going to cover the putting you under medicine. Remember the company that came out and said we're going to not cover anesthesia or something, and they rolled it back? Please hold. Matt works in insurance. So I'm trying to get some tea from him on another company thing that went down, but it's public information, but he knows it more than I do. Remember the company that said, hey, we're not going to pay for all of your like anesthesia or something, and then they changed it when they changed it after this happened? Or is it convenient? The CEO got killed from United. Okay. So what company was it? Or was it all companies? Like it says Blue Cross Blue Shield, but this is like a public known thing. Yeah. Okay, so there you go. Remind me to send you this. Oh yes, Tori says you're gonna send me the CEO TikTok. So yeah, so Blue Cross Blue Shield, yeah, there it is. Backed off the anesthesia policy. This is like all very convenient when the CEO thing happened. If you don't know what I'm talking about, like around this time, Blue Cross Blue Shield was like, oh, by the way, we're not going to cover all of your anesthesia, right? And it's like people are like, what? And so then this takes place, and it's like, okay, maybe we'll roll that back a little bit. So that being said, what I want to do is we're going to look at an article now. So let me go find it real quick. Please hold. We're in a please hold pattern. Please hold pattern. Okay, we're going to kind of jump around a little bit with this. We're going to look at this little clip here from NPR, I believe. And where are we at? And where are we at? And where are we at? Okay, let's just listen to this little thing.
Arrested Luigi Mangione, a 26-year-old male on firearms charges. At this time, he is believed to be our person of interest in the brazen targeted murder of Brian Thompson, CEO of UnitedHealthcare, last Wednesday in Midtown Manhattan. The suspect was in a McDonald's and was recognized by an employee who then called local police. Responding officers questioned the suspect, who was acting suspiciously and was carrying multiple fraudulent IDs as well as a U.S. passport. Upon further investigation, officers recovered a firearm on his person as well as a suppressor, both consistent with the weapon used in the murder. They also recovered clothing, including a mask consistent with those worn by our wanted individual. Also recovered was a fraudulent New Jersey ID, matching the ID our suspect used to check into his New York City hostel before the shooting incident. Additionally, officers recovered a handwritten document that speaks to both his motivation and mindset. NYPD detectives are en route to Pennsylvania as we seek to interview the subject further. This apprehension is thanks to the tireless work of the greatest detectives in the world, and of course, the strong relationships we have with our local law enforcement partners. On every level, local, state, and federal, we all serve the same public safety mission. And this case, which captured the attention.
Okay, so you heard that. That's like the little, basic thing there. And Tangi, you were saying that it's what is Anthem or Aetna or something like that. I was wrong about the Blue Cross Blue Shield thing. Or somebody else said it might have been several insurance companies that were doing it, because if one came out and said they would do it, they probably all would, right? So it could be several. I'm not sure. But I'll trust y'all though who work in it more than myself. So you heard that. Now here's the thing right here. Imagine pulling this off right here. So I'm talking about this guy right here, this Luigi guy that's been apprehended and whatnot. Imagine pulling this off right here and you get caught in the McDonald's. It's almost as bad as getting caught at the Walmart. Right? They're thinking like this is like espionage from another country, right? And this dude's getting caught up at the ice cream machine at McDonald's. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Come on now. Now, all the stuff he had on him was crazy. The way that this dude got away with this for a minute, and I'm like, his face is plastered everywhere, right? Hey Chrissy, how's it going? And then all of a sudden it was like, was he trying to pay with Monopoly money? He did something next level like that, didn't he? It was something really bizarre. You almost wonder if he was wanting to get caught. Okay, let's go back up real quick. So we're going to go over the little press conference too. So let's just go over this real quick. So they have detained 26-year-old Luigi in connection with the fatal shooting. This is Brian Thompson, the CEO of UnitedHealthcare. He's considered a person of interest. This launch, isn't that funny how that puts little stuff up there? Don't buy anything from Spring. I'm switching my stores. That's not an intentional thing there. That's not intentional. So police say he was found with a ghost gun believed to have been used in the killing, as well as a fake ID, a handwritten 3-page document indicating his motive. The police chief detective Joseph Kinney said the document in his possession indicated some ill will towards corporate America. Okay, during the press conference, and we'll go listen to the press conference in a minute. Unless it's like some super huge thing, but we'll go over that. Let's go over to who he is. According to his LinkedIn profile, he worked as a data engineer at the car buying website TrueCar Inc. since 2020. He mostly lived in Honolulu, Hawaii. The 26-year-old fitness enthusiast had graduated as valedictorian of Baltimore's private Gilman School, went on to attend the University of Pennsylvania, where he received a bachelor's and master's in computer science with a focus on artificial intelligence. That's so creepy. Social media pages appearing to belong to him paint a complicated picture of an Ivy League educated techie who showed interest in philosophy and high-minded literature. In one review of the book of Industrial Society and Its Future, the anti-technology essay penned by the Unabomber, the reviewer wrote, "It's easy to quickly and thoughtless write this off as a manifesto of a lunatic in order to avoid facing some of the uncomfortable problems it identifies, but it's simply impossible to ignore how prescient many of his predictions about modern society turned out." Let's see. Elsewhere on social media, he discussed topics like artificial intelligence, his religious agnosticism, and his belief that corn should be regulated no less than alcohol, cigarettes, and travel. On X, he retweeted messages decreeing the woke mind virus and appeared supportive of Elon Musk and Peter Thiel, two tech billionaires who helped thrust Donald Trump and JD Vance to their 2024 election victory. Views that seemingly put him at odds with the mythos of a Robin Hood type figure on a rampage against the wealthy. Okay, so let's go over now. So there's that one. Let's come over here. Well, let me find y'all first. Hold on. Where'd y'all go? There you are. I thought they increased the award. He's actually a good. Yeah, you know what? He's giving incel vibes. You know who he physically looks like to me? Remember that? And I can't remember his name, but y'all help me out here. Remember that kid? This is like down in Parkland, Florida, I think. I mean, he used to live in the area. The dude who did the school shooting down there, I can't think of his name, but he kind of looked like him, right? I could be thinking of somebody else. If y'all are like, what are you talking about, Paul? I could be completely wrong there. So, but that's what the vibe I'm getting. Okay. Now let me go find this other article that kind of like laid things out really nicely. And where did it go? Let me see which one it is. I've got that Apple song in my head. Y'all help me. Help me. Where are we at? Okay, is this yeah, this one. Okay, let me share this one. Okay, hold on. Cruise. Okay, not Sandy Hook. It was, I think it's the cruise that people. Nicholas Cruz. Yep. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Tracy. Okay, let me present this screen. Share screen. Yep. Okay, here we go. At the Apple. Okay, come over here. I said, boom shakalaka, boom shakalaka. It's a suspect in fatal shooting of UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson, ID'd as Luigi Mangione, is that how you say it? An ex-Ivy League student. So these are some pictures of him. We're going to get down to like how they did the little time thing down here. Anti-capitalist Ivy League grad who liked online quotes from Unabomber, seized in a Fiesto. He's not been charged in the slaying, but was taken into custody. Now, this one's a little bit older, or, it's from earlier in the day. So let me get rid of this. There's a picture of him. see the picture with him with the mask on? So he kept a mask on so much. I mean, he was really good at hiding himself at first. Now here's this thing over here. So New Jersey, they've marked out his little thing there. I saw his Instagram somebody sent me earlier, and before, I don't know if it shut down at this point, but I mean, it was, you know, he looks like a popular, in shape dude. Let's read this little thing right here. So it says, imagine a society that suspects people to conditions that make them terribly unhappy, then gives them the drugs to take away their happiness. Kaczynski wrote at one point in a quote liked by Mangione. So that they're quoting the Unabomber, and this dude's like liking his post or whatever it was. Science fiction has already happened to some extent in our society. Instead of removing the conditions that make people depressed, modern society gives them antidepressant drugs. In effect, antidepressants are a means of modifying an individual's internal state in such a way as to enable him to tolerate social conditions that he would otherwise find intolerable. And then the manifesto said the suspect acted alone. So there you see he's in shape. He's a good looking dude. I mean, this is kind of wild, right? Now, here's the moment where this is how close he was. This is the CEO, and this is him in the bottom left corner, taking the guy's life. It says he had a particular personal reason to hate the medical community, its treatment of an alien relative, sources said. Now, of course, this isn't confirmed yet. Online obituaries show he lost a grandmother in 2013 and a grandfather in 2017. His LinkedIn page indicates he once worked in an assisted living facility for the elderly for a few months in 2014 while still in high school. They don't know if he's made any statements to cops yet. And so they're just showing here. So 276 miles west of New York City is where he was at. It just goes into some of this stuff. Now here's a little timeline. And let me find y'all real quick before we keep going on that. And hello everybody that's just joining. I hope y'all are fine. And let's see if you're order. And then is he approved a 14-year-old girl to have? Okay, I'm just catching up here. Okay, so let me get back over to this little timeline thing here. Okay. So, number one, 6:44 a.m., the victim is walking alone towards the New York Hilton Midtown after leaving his hotel across the street. Number two, the shooter, who is lying in wait alongside the building, fires at him. 3, shooter then runs to an alleyway between 54th Street and 55th Street. 4, once at West 55th Street, the shooter continues to walk on 6th Avenue, where he gets into an electric bike. 5, shooter rides north on 6th Avenue towards Central Park. 6, 6:48 a.m., the shooter rides the bike in a center drive. I mean, that's what they knew, like, whenever they did this. I mean, a 4-minute time frame there. And the dude's just, like, slipped away in the darkness, right? He was the co-founder of Appor Studios. Okay, now let's do this. Let me come back to y'all. What I'm going to... Pardon me. Let me go find the thing over here real quick. Let's see if it was... Let's see if we can find the... what do you call it? What do you call that? The thing that he's doing. Let me switch over here. You know, I can't think of the name of it. My brain's starting to go. Hold on. I need to make that cup of coffee. Please hold. Good Lord, I'm falling to pieces here. Let's go over here. Let's come over here. And let's go to yep, that's what we want. And then we want to come over here. Okay, no, let's do this. Okay, a couple of things here. First of all, let's watch this video of him giving gives a prep school valedictorian speech. Oh, please, we're so invested in this. Hold on. Please hold. We're going to speed it up, though. The airport. Let me speed it up. We're going to go boom. We're going to go boom. And escape, I guess. And then we're going to come back over here. Boom. Okay, let me find you. Where you at? Boom, 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 boom. Okay, where'd y'all go? Where'd y'all go? Is this a nope? Over here? That's what we want. Okay, here we go. Drop a one if you can hear it when I start playing up.
Mangione. Luigi. All set? Congratulations. Thank you.
Headmaster Smythe, Mr. Hubeck, members of the Board of Trustees, family, friends, faculty, and fellow students, good afternoon. Thank you all for being here to celebrate Gilman's 116th Founders Day. I'm honored to be speaking to you all today on behalf of the Gilman class of 2016. When I started writing the speech, I talked with several students and teachers and asked how they would describe the class of 2016. Many of the students characterized our class as inventive, in both imagination and initiative. At the same time, several teachers reminded me of our class's commitment to Gilman and its traditions. I came to realize that both views are correct. The class of 2016 is truly defined by its inventive, pioneering mentality that accompanies a strong commitment to Gilman tradition. Throughout its time here at Gilman, the class of 2016 has been coming up with new ideas and challenging the world around it. Our selling of Chick-fil-A during lunch, arguably the staple of our class, provides a great example. In our sophomore year, when brainstorming ways to fundraise, we didn't just settle for the usual methods of selling spirit shirts and Christmas trees. In addition to this, we did what seemed impossible given the tight schedule of the school day and began shuttling dozens of Chick-fil-A sandwiches to Gilman between assembly and lunch. Soon, we were selling over 100 Chick-fil-A sandwiches each day, and what became likely one of the most successful class fundraisers in Gilman's history. But our ability to come up with new ideas didn't start then. I've noticed it as long as I've been here, even in my very first year as a sixth grader. If any of you have ever been on Gilman's campus before school starts, you would have noticed that every morning, rain or shine, the turf is filled with middle school students playing soccer, football, and frisbee. That tradition was actually started by the class of 2016. As many of you know, Gilman Middle School offers not one, but 2 recesses per day. But for the class of 2016, that wasn't enough. So, as sixth graders, rather than sitting in the hallways waiting for school to begin, we decided we'd give ourselves an extra morning recess before the morning even started. And now, 7 years later, that morning recess remains as a regular part of every school day. Of course, this isn't anything revolutionary, but it shows that even early on, the class of 2016 was challenging the world around it. Having great ideas, however, isn't enough to innovate. The class of 2016's inventiveness also stems from its incredible courage to explore the unknown and try new things. Just look at a few highlights from our senior year. This April, 5 seniors performed in Gilman's spring musical, The Addams Family, all of whom had no prior musical experience. 3 seniors, Jeremy Booth, Gus Meny, and Jake Goodwin, lended lead roles, while Tommy Morey and Chris Wolf helped put on the show that I doubt any of us will forget. How about this winter, when Kevin Wang delivered a senior speech? As Kevin moved to America and joined our class in 9th grade, English isn't his first language. But that didn't stop him from delivering a both hilarious and thought-provoking speech about his transition to the United States. How about Ray Saunders leading Gilman's first-year cybersecurity team? Even competing against hundreds of veteran teams, the Gilman squad managed to advance to the state and then regional championships. All of these endeavors took a huge amount of courage. They demonstrate that the class of 2016 truly has the fearlessness to explore new things and the obvious ability to excel. But as inventive as the class of 2016 is, our class was able to explore the new while also preserving the old. Just look back at the most significant and magical night of our senior year, the 100th annual Gilman McDonough football game. After hundreds of hours of preparation, our seniors led the Gilman team to victory. Competing in the second oldest football rivalry in the state of Maryland, however, they represented not just this year's team, but Gilman as an institution and all the alumni that preceded them. So the class of 2016 not only explored new frontiers, but also maintained Gilman's most important traditions. I think this combination of preservation and exploration is what Gilman is all about. Gilman maintains its classic core values by cultivating mind, body, and spirit in its students, but also champions an environment of acceptance and diversity while excelling in its technological endeavors. This fusion is such a strong part of Gilman, it's even evident in its physical geography. Just look to the construction outside Gilman, or outside. Gilman is actively rebuilding itself, but its brand new fields sit next to classic buildings like Cary Hall. Further, these new constructions, for example, Sotier Stadium, bear with them Gilman's rich history in their names. So it's no surprise that the class of 2016 picked up this ability to explore both new and old. And it's no surprise they were able to achieve all they did this year, these last few years as well. But it wasn't just Gilman as an institution that shaped our experience here. The people in our lives, especially our parents and teachers, had such huge roles as well. The parents here today, first off, sending us to Gilman was far from a small financial investment. I'd like to personally thank each of you for sending your sons here, as I can't imagine the class of 2016 without any one of these men on stage. Further, thank you for all the time and love you've put into our lives. You've instilled values in us, fed and clothed us, and simply been there for us every step of the way. I'd also like to thank every Gilman teacher and faculty member here today throughout all 3 divisions of the school. While the events and accomplishments I've mentioned in the speech were meant to highlight the imagination and courage of the class of 2016, these occurrences also drew heavily from your efforts. Our imagination draws from your inspiration, and our courage largely depends on your encouragement in the classroom, on the fields, and on the stage. So parents and faculty, thank you for all you have done for us. Today is as much an achievement for you as it is for us. As I conclude my speech, I have to remember that a valedictory, by definition, is a farewell. We seniors have been hiding from it all year, and I've even been avoiding it in my speech. But now it's time to face the truth. Our time as Gilman students has come to an end. It seems like just yesterday that we were freshmen, having tie wars and playing computer games in CT20, but now we're moving on. Just like we've done these past few years, we'll be exploring the unknown, whether that be attending colleges across the country, traveling the world during gap years, or fulfilling military service in foreign countries. As we embrace the new, however, we won't forget the old. Our friendships, values, and memories from Gilman will always stay with us. So, to the class of 2016, a kind of class that only comes around once every 50 years. It's been an incredible journey, and I simply can't imagine the last few years.
I mean, can we go back in time and send the Macy? That's literally sending me over the edge. Just like watching that, I was like, the one chugging water, I was like, that would be me right there. And that would 100% be me right there. Absolutely chugging that water. Okay, now what we're gonna do now is this: we're gonna go watch the what do you call this thing? The press conference thing. And then we'll move on to the Jay-Z thing. That'll kind of be like mostly for whatever. I mean, other than people going like massive deep dives, I'm obviously just looking at the superficial, like, you know, news type. Please hold. Now, I'd sped it up at first, but then I wanted to see what he sounded like. We're going to speed up this news thing right here just to 125, just to kind of move it along. But if we need to, we'll slow it down if it gets like crazy. Hold on. Okay, hold on. I forgot to share it. I'm just over here watching it myself. I'm like, what are y'all talking about? Share screen. Okay. Share screen. Okay. Where did y'all go? Boom. This is it. Okay, here we go. So we're going to watch like the press conference, that type thing or whatever, right? Where are we at? Here we go. Let me make sure I can see y'all. Okay, then let's share. Let's make it bigger for y'all. Let's press play.
In the New York City murder of UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson, they say he's identified as 26-year-old Luigi Mangione. Here's New York City Mayor Eric Adams with an update.
Of UnitedHealthcare was the victim of a senseless act of violence. Our officers have been working around the clock. Many of them did not go home to pursue this individual. It was crucial that we were able to remove him off the streets of America, and we were going to seek him out no matter where he was at the time. And so this is a strong person of interest. The police commissioner and chief of detectives will go over where we are right now in the investigation. He matches the description of the identification we've been looking for. He's also in possession of several items that we believe will connect him to this incident. How did we do it? Good old-fashioned police work. The chief of detectives and the police commissioner made the decision to release as much of a photo that we had at the time. We sent it across the country, and someone, a McDonald's employee, did something we ask every American to do. If you see something, say something, but most importantly, do something. And they did. And because of that, we believe we have a strong person of interest to deal with this case. I want to now turn it over to the police commissioner of the city of New York, Commissioner Tisch.
Thank you, Mayor. Good afternoon, everyone. Earlier this morning in Altoona, Pennsylvania, members of the Altoona Police Department arrested Luigi Mangione, a 26-year-old male, on firearms charges. At this time, he is believed to be our person of interest in the brazen targeted murder of Brian Thompson, CEO of UnitedHealthcare, last Wednesday in Midtown Manhattan. The suspect was in a McDonald's and was recognized by an employee who then called local police. Responding officers questioned the suspect, who was acting suspiciously and was carrying multiple fraudulent IDs as well as a U.S. passport. Upon further investigation, officers recovered a firearm on his person as well as a suppressor, both consistent with the weapon used in the murder. They also recovered clothing, including a mask consistent with those worn by our wanted individual. Also recovered was a fraudulent New Jersey ID, matching the ID our suspect used to check into his New York City hostel before the shooting incident. Additionally, officers recovered a handwritten document that speaks to both his motivation and mindset. NYPD detectives are en route to Pennsylvania as we seek to interview the subject further. This apprehension is thanks to the tireless work of the greatest detectives in the world, and of course, the strong relationships we have with our local law enforcement partners on every level.
Why are they not talking about the McDonald's worker that got him at the ice cream machine? Now, I don't know if they really got him at the ice cream machine, but when they do this right here, when they're like the tireless effort of, I'm like, the person at McDonald's turned him in. I mean, I'm not trying to say the cops weren't doing something, but I mean, literally, I'm still trying to figure out why this dude who was like evading everybody. Granted, they put his picture out there and they did that. Like, I won't take that away, right? But it's like he was at McDonald's. And why was he at McDonald's? That's like but again, I mean, he was wearing that mask. He probably got confident with it, right? Elaine says the ice cream machine was working. That's the true mystery of the story. If they were talking about he had ordered some ice cream and when they were serving it, we would know it's fake, right? Because it's like, absolutely, that machine wasn't working. If there's something in here about him ordering the damn ice cream machine and them talking about it's working, 100% I don't believe it. 100% I don't believe it. Okay. Pure lies, right? Oh yeah, good point. Free Wi-Fi. Yep. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Alex says, I wonder if the employee wants their identity secret. Oh, I would too. I'd be like, just give me the money under the table. Give me the money under the table. Yeah, I wonder. I can't see. One thing I'm curious about, just reading your stuff about, like, he could have gotten away with it and whatnot. I wonder if he had just gotten out of town. Like, was he trying to get out of town somewhere different? Like, because he seems so well planned with it, right? And so I'm kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, why didn't he like just disappear or something like that? I don't know. Maybe he was trying to. I don't know. Let's keep going.
Local state, and federal. We all serve the same public safety mission. And this case, which captured the attention of an entire nation, is another example of how connected we are and how important it is to work together, share information, and pursue every lead. For just over 5 days, our NYPD investigators combed through thousands of hours of video, followed up on hundreds of tips, and processed every bit of forensic evidence, DNA, fingerprints, IP addresses, and so much more to tighten the net. We deployed drones, canine units, and scuba divers. We leveraged the domain awareness system, Argus cameras, and conducted aviation canvasses. And our detectives also went door to door, interviewing potential witnesses and doing the good old-fashioned police work that our investigators are famous for. This combination of old school detective work and new age technology is what led to this results today. And we must also acknowledge the instrumental role the media and the public played in this case. The images that we shared with the public were spread far and wide, and the tips we received led to the recovery of crucial evidence. We should never underestimate the power of the public to be our eyes and our ears in these investigations. This is the third time in 3 weeks that a member of the public has seen something and said something and done something that led to a high-profile arrest. The triple stabbing homicide in Manhattan, the gunpoint robberies in Queens during which an NYPD officer was shot, and now this. Now, the case will continue through the criminal justice process. And while we are proud of today's accomplishment, we must, of course, remember that a family is in mourning. I want to again extend my sympathies to Brian's family, his coworkers, and all who knew him. Finally, I want to thank the women and men of the NYPD, especially our Detective Bureau personnel, with a strong assist from our intelligence analysts. We also thank the SAC of the FBI's Criminal Investigative Division, Leslie Rodriguez-Bekshies. And I want to commend the staff of the Manhattan DA's office, and especially DA Alvin Bragg. He has been working with us 24/7 on this case, and I'm incredibly grateful for his partnership. I'll now pass it along to our great Chief of Detectives, Joe Kenny, who will provide additional information. Chief.
Thank you, Commissioner. Good afternoon. As the Commissioner stated earlier, a male was taken into custody today in Altoona, Pennsylvania this morning. He has been identified as Luigi Nicholas Mangione. He's a male, 26 years old. He was born and raised in Maryland. We know he has ties to San Francisco, California, and his last known address was Honolulu, Hawaii. He has no prior arrest history in New York. Members of the NYPD Detective Bureau are currently traveling to Pennsylvania with members of the Manhattan District Attorney's Office to interview this subject. This case was brought to a successful conclusion based on the coordinated effort between numerous NYPD units, including the Intelligence and Counterterrorism Bureau, our federal partners at the FBI, the Manhattan District Attorney's Office, and of course, members of the Altoona Police Department in Pennsylvania. On Thursday, one day after this crime was committed, the NYPD released a photo of the shooter in this case. This picture was obtained by the NYPD during one of their extensive video canvasses. We took that photograph and we asked for the public's help in identifying the subject, and the public responded. Hundreds of tips began to pour into our hotline. Each tip was investigated thoroughly, and we began to release additional photographs as they came into our possession. The NYPD provided these photos to numerous media outlets. Local, national, and international outlets released the photo via television, print, social media, and online content. Luckily, a citizen in Pennsylvania recognized our subject and called local law enforcement. Members of the Altoona Police Department responded to the call, and based on their investigation, they notified the NYPD. This investigation is still active and ongoing. Thank you very much.
Shooting first, and then we'll Mark.
I had a couple questions about the document that he was found in possession with. Can you go a little bit more in depth about those motivations that you mentioned? Was that CEO specifically named in that document? Was there anything more about him wanting to go after others? And also in that document, was there any indication that explains how the level of detail that he went into killing him? Like, is there anything
Like I
else?
said, that document is currently in the possession of the Altoona Police Department as part of their investigation. But just from briefly speaking with them, we don't think that there's any specific threats to other people mentioned in that document. But it does seem that he has some ill will toward corporate America.
Over here, sir. MJ.
Chief, was the suspect wearing a mask at the time he was spotted in the McDonald's? And also, criminal cases often have a linchpin. Can you point to a single linchpin that helped crack this case?
There's numerous linchpins in this case, in the fact that we've recovered an enormous amount of forensic evidence, an enormous amount of video, and once again, with your help and the public's help. So I really couldn't put it on one thing, but if I had to, it would be the release of that photograph from the media.
You said he had a passport on him. Do you believe he was trying to flee the country? And also, are you still looking for any evidence in Central Park with regards to the bike?
We had divers in the water yesterday that came up negative results. The passport, we don't believe that he was planning on doing any traveling at this time. We don't think at this point in our investigation, we don't think he was trying to flee the country.
The person at McDonald's, were they buying food? What were they doing at that exact moment?
He was an employee at the McDonald's.
Right. But what was the suspect doing?
He was sitting there eating.
Will the suspect be brought back to New York and charged here? And when?
We're going to have to work that out with the Manhattan District Attorney's Office in Altoona, Pennsylvania. He's going to be facing gun charges there. And at some point, we'll work out through extradition to bring him back to New York to face charges here, working with the Manhattan District Attorney's Office.
Hi, Anita from the New York Post. I was just hoping to get more details on the capture itself. Did he put up a fight? Did he say anything to cops? And we've also reported that he published online anti-health care industry rantings. Can you share with us some of the services that he posted on?
We're still working through his social media. We're going to do a complete scrub of that. Preliminarily, like I said, he seems that he had some ill will toward corporate America, but that will all come out as part of our investigation. We're not done here. We're still going to be putting this together. We're still going to be working very hard to bring this to a successful conclusion.
The capture itself, did he put up a fight? Did he say anything to police?
I don't have that information.
Sorry, can you elaborate on how he got there, the path he took from Port Authority and on the George Washington Bridge to Altoona, PA?
Same thing. This just happened this morning. We'll be backtracking his steps from New York to Altoona, Pennsylvania.
I was going to ask if he knew anything, if he took a bus to Philadelphia first and then somehow got to Altoona.
We're still working on that. We're still working through that.
Is there any indication that anybody else was helping him from the inside, as far as tracking the CEO's movements?
Once again, we're still working this investigation very hard. It's not at its conclusion yet. That could come out during our investigation, but as of right now, we have no indication that took place.
Chief, did he have any weapons or anything like that with him when he was arrested?
He was in possession of a ghost gun that had the capability of firing a 9mm round and a suppressor.
Can you get into a little bit about the technical aspects of the investigation? I know you deployed an unprecedented amount of technology. You also activated the Sentry program through Intel. Can you talk about how that is going to play into actually building the case as far as cell phone and all of the other technical aspects of what you've done?
In this case, it really came down to technology was the use of drones in Central Park, and really comes down to the video canvas that we did. We used every source of video that we could collect, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours from hundreds of sources, and that helped bring this to where we are right now.
The gun is it believed to be the gun he used in the shooting? And there's some talk that it was a veterinarian type gun. Is that accurate?
No, as of right now, the information we're getting from Altoona is that the gun appears to be a ghost gun, may have been made on a 3D printer. The capability of firing a 9mm round, obviously that will come out during our ballistics testing.
Oliver?
Yeah, Oliver Barnes from the Financial Times. Do you have any indication how long this handwritten, is it handwritten manifesto that you found on the suspect? And then also whether or not he put it online at all?
Don't know if it's online. As of right now, it's a handwritten 3-page document.
Chief, does he have ties to that area, and was he someone who knew by name before his arrest?
We believe he may have attended college in Pennsylvania, but like I said earlier, he has ties to Maryland and California and Hawaii.
You knew him by name before today. Was his name on your radar?
Excuse me?
Was his name on your radar? Was he someone who you had been looking into before his arrest?
No, we did not have his name prior to today.
Does he have any prior arrests? I know there were none for New York City, but is there any prior arrests anywhere else in the country?
We have not come across any arrests in the country.
Chief, hi, how are you? On two things. On the ghost gun, is it something you're going to be looking into to see if he made it himself? Can he make that himself? Or would he have to buy the gun the way it was?
No, once again, that'll be part of our investigation as we follow up.
I mean, obviously he's going to face murder charges, but is there any chance that he could face any other charges because he was targeting the CEO and because of his writings and other things that we're now finding on him? Federal charges or
that determination will be made by Alvin Bragg.
What connections does he have in Pennsylvania that you know of? Are they in Altoona specifically?
We believe he attended college in Pennsulvania.
Does he know anybody in Pennsylvania?
Wouldn't be able to tell you that.
All right, we're going to take one more question from Shooting Marla, and then we're going to vote.
You talk about the manifesto having said things against corporations, but specifically UnitedHealthcare, and do you believe that Mangione acted alone?
We believe at this point, our investigation is leaning toward he was acting alone. So like I stated earlier, we're still working through the investigation. We're not stopping today. And as far as the manifesto, like I said, I don't have the complete details of that. It's in the possession of the Altoona Police Department.
We're going to shift to
Good job, Chief. Commissioner, Chief Mangi.
We've been listening there to New York City officials confirming a person of interest is now being questioned in the.
Okay, so I love Thank you, Elaine. I appreciate it. Y'all, the McDonald's stuff. It's so funny how we all have the same experience, whatever. So you heard the thing about him printing the gun out in the 3D printer. So yeah, my big thing right here is I want to see that manifesto. I want to find out like what the true connection is, because they're saying whatever they read or whatever, there's some kind of like little connection going on. Now we've heard it's like, he worked at the nursing home. He had some elderly, well, obviously his grandparents. Oh, thanks, Elaine. Elaine gifted 5 memberships. Woohoo. So I want to know the manifesto. I want to know what he got at McDonald's, what he's eating. Imagine if he went through and ordered the quarter pounder and they're like, could you pull up and come in? Or could you pull up and wait for us, which is code word at McDonald's for you're going to have to eventually come in and get your food. You know what I'm saying? And that's how he got called. Oh, I'd be extra pissed if I was him. Right. I mean, come on. So, yeah. So we'll say this is going to be a ever-changing thing. They'll release that information eventually, I think. And yeah. So we'll be on the lookout. Now, we're going to change gears. We're going to switch over to Jay-Z. I want to read some. I'm going to make a video on it probably tomorrow. But I'm going to read some of the stuff from the indictment that came out on that. That's a whole other thing, whatever you want to call it. But people says he was sitting inside. Okay. Where's his enjoy your last time at McDonald's, right? Yeah, ice cream too. Yeah, seriously, that ice cream thing. Yeah, that ice cream thing ain't working now. Agent says there's some kind of supersonic ice cream machine there now. I'm interested to hear about this. That sounds like I need to know about this machine. Okay, so Jay-Z was finally named. And when I say finally, if you've been following this case, and what I'm talking about is the P. Diddy situation. If you've been following that, okay, so many people had just been like, just wait, 2024, 2025, this is the year. All these people are going down. Jay-Z's all up in it. Well, this person has named this, right? Or him in the suit. We're going to go over some of the highlights from the suit. Now, here's the thing. He has not been convicted of anything. This is just a civil lawsuit at this point. This is my thought process, okay? So, and first of all, let's just say this. Jay-Z is like he's a hip hop rapper, business mogul. He was huge. I mean, he's still big now, I think, but I mean, mega name in the music industry, right? Especially at the same time as like Puff Daddy and whatnot. So, Puff Daddy is currently being incarcerated, and he has all these allegations against him and whatnot. Agents, okay, yeah. So if you've been following this, or not even following it, but if you know who like Jaguar Wright is, Cat Williams, they've all been talking about this, okay? And like literally, like Jay-Z is like Jay-Z, Puff Daddy, they've all been saying like, you just wait, okay? So this person has now, well, when the original lawsuits came out, this unnamed person that was basically like, look, I was assaulted at an after party, and we're going to go over some of the like little details or whatever. I was assaulted at after party, Puff Daddy, and it was like, celebrity A, like nameless celebrities. This is my thought process, and you tell me. I think what happened is this dude, to the lawyer, the attorney heading it up, and he said that he was doing this, right? He knows the names of these people. So they're basically going around these people saying, here's what's going to happen. What do you want to do about this? Or we're coming out. Okay. Like we're coming out with some information. Like, what do you want to do? My guess is that Jay-Z want to cough up money because of some of the things he said. And so they're like, okay, well, you're going to get named. And so that's what they're doing. And that's what's going on. So he is now named. Some very interesting things have come out about it. So number one, remember Jay-Z is married to Beyonce. Beyonce is, Beyonce. And Beyonce, well, we'll go over it, but Beyonce's mother, I don't know if y'all saw this part, but when one of the news agencies released the information or whatever, like, here's this thing, she liked it on Instagram, and then she turned around and was like, oh, my account got hijacked or whatever. My thought process is that she accidentally double clicked it and accidentally liked it, basically. You know what I'm saying? And then came out talking about, oh, my thing, I was hacked or whatever. But if it did not go over well, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the document. Where is it? Now, this is trigger warning, okay? if you're, this is, we're going to bleep out some of the words, if you will, but this is talking about SA, talking about some pretty shady stuff. Let's find where it gets to the stuff. And let me do this. Let me get my water over here because I'm going to need it. My mouth is dry. Hold on. Please hold. Lord, please hold. Okay. Where are we at? Okay. Okay. Where'd y'all go? Share screen. Let's put this up. Share screen. Share screen. Where's Jay-Z? Diddy lawsuit. Diddy lawsuit. Did a lawsuit. Did a lawsuit. Did a lawsuit. Okay, let me see if y'all can see the same thing as me. Okay, so let's get back over here. Okay. We're going to kind of jump into it when it gets to the stuff or whatever. So we're jumping into, remember, this is a young female underage who is describing, being assaulted after hours, whatever. Okay, where are we at? Okay, let's jump down. I think this is where it was. Okay, here we go. So and I'm going to kind of just jump through this a little bit because it's a lot, but it's towards the end here. So after approximately 20 minutes, the plaintiff arrived at what she believed to be a large white residence with a gated U-shaped driveway. Once inside, two men asked plaintiff to sign a document so the plaintiff did not read, but which she now believes to have been a non-disclosure. She was told that she could not discuss what happened at the party. She gave the men her name and signed the form, but did not receive a copy. No, you already know. If this is me in the car, my nosiness would have been piqued, right? I mean, you already know you're going to somebody's fancy's house, right? Okay. So can you imagine being like, sir, can I get a facsimile of that paper? Thank you. Could you just scribble it down and post it? Thank you. Okay, inside the building, the plaintiff recognized many celebrities as she entered what appeared to be a large living room or foyer containing a large crowd. The plaintiff attempted to mingle in the crowd and talked to several other celebrities that she recognized and whom she had wanted to see at the VMAs. Waitstaff circulated the room, carrying trays, drinks, loud music played throughout. The plaintiff observed widespread drug use, including weed and coke. After attempting to talk to numerous celebrities, plaintiff accepted a drink from one of the waitresses circulating the crowd. The drink was a reddish-yellow mixture that tasted like orange juice, cranberry juice, and something bitter. After drinking just a portion of that drink, the plaintiff began to feel woozy and lightheaded, making her need to lie down. A photograph of an actual exemplary container used by Combs NRS agents to insert GHB into alcohol drinks is seen below. And that's so creepy. Looking for a place to rest, the plaintiff walked down what appeared to be a hallway with several rooms. She entered what appeared to be an empty bedroom so she could lie down for a minute. She did not lock the door. The room contained only a large bed with no furniture of any other kind, televisions, or other furnishings. Now, this part's weird here. Okay, where y'all at? This part right here is weird because, here's the thing too. First of all, she's really young, number one. So she's at this party. Number two, if you listen to some of the other things, I'm not saying she's making this up or anything like that, but I'm just trying to piece together how the situation works there, because other people would describe the scenario of you're walking around this party and certain people are invited to certain parts of the house. So I guess one of the things I'm wondering is, was she immediately shuffled into this is where the people go that are going to be doing this? You know what I mean? It was almost like a nightclub where it was different layers and levels to who went where and who did what. Does that make sense? So she's I just kind of wandered to this room and whatnot and everything. I'm just okay, well, what part of that, what part of the house were you already in? How are you able to get access like that? Because it sounded like they were so locked down with we want to do this to this person, so they're going over here, but maybe that was by design. You see what I'm saying? She was in the zone where it was she had already been hustled into where they wanted her. Does that make sense? Okay, let's keep going. Because even people who are already shedding tea in this, that don't have skin in the game, I guess you could say, are describing like, I don't know. It just seems weird. Anyway, let's keep going. Okay, please hold. Soon after, Combs entered the room along with the defendant Carter and a female celebrity, dying to know who that is. Celebrity B. So a female celebrity enters and watches this take place. Do we know who this is? The plaintiff immediately recognized all three. Combs aggressively approached plaintiff with a crazed look in his eyes, grabbed her and said, "You are ready to party." Combs threw plaintiff toward a wall, causing plaintiff to fall. Plaintiff got up and stumbled, at which point Combs grabbed her again and threw her on the bed. At that point, Carter began removing plaintiff's clothes as she grew more and more disoriented. This is terrible. So trigger warning, if this stuff bothers y'all, we're getting into it. Plaintiff was held down by Carter as you could see here, as he arred her, while Combs and Celebrity B watched. After Carter finished, he stepped back toward the wall. Combs then stepped forward and arred plaintiff while Carter and Celebrity B watched. Combs then knocked plaintiff down and attempted to force plaintiff to perform oral. She fought back, standing up quickly, punching out at the same time, hitting Combs in the neck. Taken aback, Combs stopped his attempt. When Combs backed away in surprise, the plaintiff grabbed her clothes and shoes and ran out of the bedroom, holding her dress in front of her like a towel. She ran around the residence until she found the front door, and was able to leave. Although there were other guests still at the party, no one appeared to take notice of plaintiff's distress or attempted to help her. Now that part checks out, right? Completely. I can see that happening. Once outside, the plaintiff put her clothes back on and left the scene in the dark. Plaintiff attempted to retrace the route taken by the limo driver. She kept running until she reached a gas station she noticed in the way of the party. A female clerk noticed her distress and allowed her to use the phone. Plaintiff called her father, admitted she had lied about her whereabouts, and asked him to pick her up. Plaintiff's father picked her up shortly before dawn. After the assault, the plaintiff fell into a deep depression, which continues to affect her every facet of life. The plaintiff suffers from post-traumatic stress disorder, seizure disorder caused by stress and trauma, has difficulty maintaining normal relationships and lives, and largely from withdrawal from society. First cause of action. Each of them is set forth by forcing the plaintiff female. Detective Combs and Carter committed a crime. Now this is kind of going over just the context, whatever. I'm just kind of reading through this real quick. Stuff that we already have known. The business model. This is going into like his business and him allowing Carter to do that. There's something else in here. Okay, so here we go. Let's get down to the plaintiff respectfully requests that the judgment be entered against the defendant as follows: awarding compensatory damages for all physical injuries, emotional distress, physical, psychological harm, anxiety, humiliation, physical and emotional pain and suffering, family and social disruption, and other harm in an amount to be determined at trial. Awarding punitive damages in an amount to be determined at trial. Awarding attorney fees and costs pursuant to any applicable statute or law. Please hold. Awarding pre and post judgment interest on all such damages, fees, and or cost. Attaching any and all of defendant's real property and other assets located in the New York State to Federal Rule of Civil Procedure. Awarding such other and further relief as this court may deem as proper. Okay, let me find y'all real quick. Okay. So yeah. Let's see here. So Carter is Jay-Z. This is another name, so I'm sorry. I said it. Carter's Jay-Z. Okay, now hold on. Let me go back to it. Who do we know? Do we know who Beyonce wasn't doing it? Do we know who? Wait, I think J-Lo, because Ben Affleck divorced her so quick when Diddy stuff came out. Oh, that's so true. He really did. Agent. I'm just going back through here. Oh, wait, sorry. I missed that one, Lisa. I'm sorry. Hey, Smog, how's it going? There was between 18 and 30 versus 34. There was a girl on SWU that talked about going to Diddy's house. J-Lo. Do we think it was J-Lo? Do we think it was J-Lo? Is that who we think it is? Didn't she have something to do with it? Sean Carter, Jay-Z. Yeah, Jay-Z. Yeah, baby. Or is it Beyonce? Have y'all determined that, the timeline down in the comment section? Yeah, J-Lo did not get any good press this year, y'all. Last couple of years, okay. Yep, nope. Totally J-Lo. It seems like such, I mean, when you read about it, so again, let's say, now this is all alleged at this point, nobody's been convicted, whatever, right? So and obviously stuff like this happens, right? The fact that two people could sit there and take turns like this and watch this go, I'm like, huh? What? Like, and the fact that she recognized all of them, it sounds to me like however they had this house set up, right? Because didn't one of his sons, wasn't one of his sons in on it? Where they were talking about, like, I've heard people say, like, oh, certain people would get slippers that meant you went into this part of the house, like you were in the, it was, I mean, literally, it sounds like, honestly, what's that, like the nine circles of Dante's Hell or whatever it's called, that literature piece. It literally sounds like that, where it's like they go through and kind of handpick people. So maybe they had handpicked her. Because again, I'm thinking this too. If people are walking around serving alcohol, like, just, here's this whole thing of, drugs or whatever. Pardon me. It's almost like, well, I guess part of me is like, well, wouldn't they be afraid that somebody would take too much, or that somebody they didn't want to have it took it? You know what I'm saying? Or do they specifically say, go give this drink to her? You see what I'm saying? Like, those are the kind of things that I'm interested to know. So Jay-Z has come out. Okay. Well, a couple of things. First of all, let's go. Let me find his statement real quick. Jay-Z is obviously denying this, right? He's plays like, come on, right? He's not saying that this is true. He's not. No, he's saying nope, 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 nope. Okay. Please hold. I'll read this thing out. He's like, absolutely not. Okay, where's Jay-Z? Where's Jay? Where's Z? Where is Jay-Z? I said Jay-Z. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I'm going to read this here. He says, my lawyer received a blackmail attempt called a demand letter. I got to make this bigger. Please hold. From a lawyer named Tony Busby. What he had calculated was the nature of these allegations, and the public scrutiny would make me want to settle. No, sir, it had the opposite effect. It made me want to expose you for the fraud you are in a very public fashion. So no, I will not give you one red penny. These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree? These alleged victims would deserve real justice if that were the case. This lawyer, who I've done a bit of research on, seems to have a pattern of these type of theatrics. I have no idea how you have come to be such a deplorable human, Mr. Busby, but I promise you, I have seen your kind many times over. I'm more than prepared to deal with your type. You claim to be a Marine. Marines are known for their valor. You have neither honor nor dignity. My only heartbreak is for my family. My wife and I will have to sit our children down, one of whom is at the age where her friends will surely see the press and ask questions about the nature of these claims and explain the cruelty and greed of people. I mourn yet another loss of innocence. Children should not have to endure such at their young age. It is unfair to have to try to understand inexplicable degrees of malice meant to destroy families and human spirit. My heart and support goes out to true victims in the world who have to watch how their life story is dressed in costume for profitability by this ambulance chaser in a cheap suit. You have made a terrible error in judgment, thinking that all celebrities are the same. I'm not from your world. I'm a young man who made it out of the project of Brooklyn. We don't play these types of games. We have very strict codes and honor. We protect children. You seem to exploit people for personal gain. Only your network of conspiracy theorists, fake sidekicks will believe the idiotic claims you have leveled against me, that if not for the seriousness surrounding harm to kids would be laughable. I look forward to showing you just how different I am. Wow. Jay-Z, so Jay-Z has come out. Oh, thanks, Elaine. Elaine says, hold on. Michael Jackson, a major scapegoat. This show's coming out to me. Yeah, right. That was another huge, right? That was another major thing that went down right there. So the thing I just read was by Jay-Z. He released that. That was his statement in response to this stuff, right? So yeah. I mean, time will tell. Hold on one second. Yeah, there's definitely some questionable behavior surrounding him already, right? With some stuff and age appropriateness and whatnot. Okay. And then Lisa says Jay-Z's deflecting. He's Diddy's very best friend, has been for decades. He knew exactly what was going on. I mean, that's the thing. So a lot of these people who are super close, like again, I asked this question, Lil' Kim, right? Now she kind of separated off from him for a minute, you know what I'm saying? Like they kind of did their thing. But also I'm just like, Lil' Kim was like in with that clique. Like has she said anything? Oh, thanks, Tammy, for gifting 5 memberships. That's the hey Eric, how's it going? Yeah, I mean Beyonce was super young, right? So there's a lot of this going on, a lot of shifting in Hollywood, and again, hold on, a lot of stuff we've seen recently, right? Like the people commented about how what's his name divorced J-Lo right before all this stuff came out. I mean, people get insider info. Like they know this stuff's popping off, right? So like when this Tony Busby came out and they see all these like celebrity A, celebrity B, all this type stuff. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of people doing stuff. Like what's his name? Leonardo DiCaprio? I mean, I'm waiting for that, okay? He's got how many he's constantly has a rotation of women. You know, when that movie Blink Twice came out, I thought it was something that more spoke to what do you call it? Epstein and that. And now I legitimately think Blink Twice was like a nod to the Diddy stuff. If that makes sense. Not a nod, but like a wink wink. This isn't about Diddy, but here's this, whatever. If you have seen it, you probably kind of know what I'm talking about. I mean, it just seems so similar. It just seems like he had these wild, insane parties. I know, right? Nirvana, I loved it too. He had these like wild, insane parties at this house. And probably some people were having fun. Like the way, like, I don't want to do spoiler alerts, so we'll talk about it in the way of Jay-Z or Diddy and whatnot, having these crazy parties and whatnot. And then some of these people are probably waking up talking about what happened? Why am I wearing her shirt? And you see what I'm saying? So yeah. Now hold on for 1 second. I'm going to grab my coffee because what we're going to do is we're going to serve up. Now it's my dessert time. We're going to serve up my Dolly Parton pie to get ready to watch what I want to do for the Lori Daybell stuff. And again, I'll make a quick update for the other channel if you're not like down with the vibe of like live chat, whatever. We're going to watch her hearing that she did. It's a couple of days old at this point, where she, basically the judge is like, hey, look, we're going to go through this battery of questions about you representing yourself. Remember, Lori Vallow stands against 2 different trials, 2 different cases, basically in Arizona. She's been doing the whole competency thing, this, that, and the other, whatever. They came back. Yep, she's good to go. Okay, well, now let's switch her back over to criminal court. She goes to criminal court. She's wanting to represent herself, and so they're going through these motions, and she talks a lot during this. And so yeah, hold on 1 second while I get my stuff. Please talk amongst yourselves. Okay, just do your thing. It's just gonna take a second. It's right there. I mean, Lord. Hello. Okay, so for those just joining, so last night, I think, or yesterday, whenever we did it, the members book club meeting, I tried out one of Dolly Parton's new like pre-made pies or whatever. So today at the grocery store, I was like, well, let me just see. Okay, well, they had the other one. Last night we did the chocolate decadent, so we're gonna do this one. Okay. Oh my God, y'all. So this is Dolly Parton. Original whipped cheesecake to serve, remove, thawed in the refrigerator. Ooh, I don't know if, well, it's been 90 minutes. Okay, let's see. It's 6 servings, 0 calories for the whole thing. Interesting. No calories at all. Absolutely none, right? If it's done in December, okay? So in a second, we're gonna watch Lori's little her little, you know what I'm saying? Her hearing. So her trial's gonna be in March. I personally think there's not gonna be any, she's gonna go right for it. Okay. That might make a little bit of a loud noise. Yeah, everybody's saying no calories. Yeah, no calories. It's the weirdest thing. I don't know how Dolly pulled that off. There's no calories. Look how pretty it is from the freezer. Oh, it cuts beautifully. Cuts beautifully. Oh, yes. Oh, heavens. Oh, this makes me feel pretty. Oh. Oh, I'm tingling. Okay. Now we're doing little paper plates, okay? Get this out. Dolly is on Bunny XO's podcast. They did a thing. And Dolly's talking about Johnny Cash. I could listen to Dolly talk all day long. I just love her. Okay. So, oh my God, look at this. Look at that. Y'all, please. Let's do this. Let's have one piece without whipped cream on it. And then we'll try it with whipped cream. Oh my God, y'all. It literally tastes like candy butter. It literally tastes like candy butter. Is that a word? Is that a thing? What is it? Original whipping cheesecake. It is good, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how, like, you can know, like, the taste of butter? Like sweet butter, I guess you would say. Totally having this at 3 in the morning. And that's what happened to the other one. Then I went to the gym. Then I ate more when I got back. It's like, I can't have stuff like this in the house. Okay. Look, I got the light kind. Okay. The light. Just a dollop. Just a dollop. That's all you need. You better put this fair. No shame. I'll eat this whole thing just straight from the thing, right? The crust is, I don't know like what kind of crust it is, T-Rex, but I feel like your standard pie crust, like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe that's where all the sugary taste is coming from. It literally tastes like, the first taste that hit me is almost, I don't know which one, sugar and then butter. Okay, now we're going to do it with whipped cream. See? the whipped cream doesn't really add or take anything away from it. And probably because this is so sweet, the whipped cream's not standing up to it. Oh, yeah, T-Rex. It's like graham cracker. Yeah. It's like graham cracker T-Rex. Mm. Oh, y'all. That is y'all. Go out right now and get one. Go out right now and get one. I found them at food or Lowe's. I'm in North Carolina, so Lowe's and what's that other place? Harris Teeter. And let me tell you what, last one at each one. Mm. Like literally, because I've let it thaw for so long, it's literally just like a cloud in your mouth. A candied butter cloud. Mm. So, and we have Lowe's. We go to the same thing here. We're like, which Lowe's? We have the hardware store, and then we have Lowe's Foods. Then I was just eating Dolly Parton's original whipped cheesecake. We're getting ready to watch Lori Vallow's hearing. With some coffee. And my Blowing Rock coffee mug. So cozy. It was just cold and rainy here today. I never could warm up. Mind you, this is like more of a summertime type vibe to me. Okay. I'm talking, y'all. Riddle me this, y'all. Please tell me if this is North Carolina thing where y'all are at while we're in grocery stores where we watch Lori. Are grocery stores where you live in your region, and it might be a southern thing or I don't know, are they geared towards hanging out and drinking? Like, do they have the bar and people actually use it and hang out and drink like it's a vibe? This is now a thing here in the South, okay? Whether it's Lowe's Foods or Harris Teeter, they have that whole wine and beer section or anything, and like literally, it's hopping. Like it's a hangout thing, okay? Like it's what people do. I mean, we were talking about it today. We're just like, when I was like, this is a new thing. I was like, I don't know if it's a South thing, a Southern thing, but like, yeah, the grocery stores here, they're like geared towards like on a Friday night, it's popping. Okay, it's like a bar scene. And I'm just like, yeah, I can't imagine a worse place to be. And then also, so here's one thing, right? You would think like, okay, maybe the husbands go and drink the beer and stuff. No. I'm talking about it's a vibe, okay? So a lot of people are saying no. Why are we looking at not in Oregon? Los Feliz has the bar stools and everything. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Is yeah. In here and at the beach. Not in Houston. Oh, I'm going to Houston later or in a couple of weeks. Yeah, it's so wild to me. Okay, no, in New York. So it's a North Carolina thing. It might be a Raleigh thing. I don't know. T-Rex says they have live music too. I mean, that's what I'm talking about, right? Like they want you to hang out at the grocery store. It makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Not in Canada. Okay. Not in SoCal. That's so funny. Yeah, see, we just can't stay away from food here in the South, right? So they want us to like hang out at the grocery store, drink at the grocery store. Emily says I would never get any groceries. Can you imagine getting banned at the grocery store? Like if you couldn't handle your liquor, and they're like, look, we're gonna have to ban you for like 30 days. Like, look, you don't understand. This is a necessity, right? I promise I won't drink when I come back tomorrow. This is my spot. I come here every day. I just got a little out of control today. Y'all got a new pumpkin cider, and I couldn't help myself. I'll just come in, I'll get the food, and I'll leave. You don't have to say anything to me. You don't have to ask me twice. Okay, I promise. Can you imagine how embarrassing that would be too for people to be like, oh, dinner's so much. Do you mind running up to Lowe's and give me this? I can't. They got me on a list. They got me on a list. Damn Piggly Wiggly will let me in the door. What'd you do, shoplift? No. I got drunk and shoved my ass at 8 p.m. on aisle 5. We got to clean up on aisle 5. We got to clean up on aisle 5. Get them out. Shut them out. Mm-mm. Get their ID, put their picture up front at the front thing. Nope. Not on aisle 5. Not tonight. Oh my God. Can you imagine? I actually would be proud if I got banned from Piggly Wiggly, not for shoplifting, like for like getting crocked and showing your ass on aisle 4 at Piggly Wiggly and you get banned for 30 days. I would probably talk about that till I died. I'd be like, yeah, back in 98, you kids don't know nothing. Back in 98, I walked up to the Piggly Wiggly barefoot. They just started allowing you to crack a beer open. You know what I'm saying? Like, that would be like one of those stories, like, that you just like tell for the rest of your life. The Piggly Wigglies are one. I love the shirts they sell. Yeah, I need to. This is it right here. Okay, so let's finish this off. This, pardon me. Let's watch Lori's thing. Let's listen to what she says. Again, Lori is now all system go, right? So Lori is going to be representing herself. They're going to do like one case and then one trial, the next trial, whatever. This is her charges in Arizona. And that's it. So let me find where she is, first of all. Where did I hide Lori? She's not hard to hide. Okay, wait, here we go. So over here. Bam. Okay. Why is this not showing? Okay, hold on. I messed it up. Hold on. Okay. There it goes. Okay, let me find y'all again. Sorry. I messed it up. Now, if y'all know what Wegmans is, that'd be easy to get banned from there from getting drunk. That's like a party, right? That's like a party place.
You've been found competent by 2 separate healthcare providers. Is it your intention, ma'am? You had expressed earlier that you would like to represent yourself.
Yes, sir.
Is that still your intention?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
I may approach, Your Honor.
You do understand that you have the right to have attorneys represent you during your cases?
I do.
What grade did you finish in school?
I graduated from high school.
Do you read and understand English?
I do.
Have you had any drugs, alcohol, or medication in the last 24 hours?
No.
Are you currently prescribed any medications in the jail?
No.
Do you believe you're able to present a defense at trial?
I thought that part was interesting, that when she was like not prescribed any medications in jail. You know what I'm saying? Because I thought she was on something, but I guess not. I just wanted to say that. Let's keep going.
I do.
Are you able to listen to what the court, counsel, and witnesses say during trial?
Yes, I will.
Do you believe you're able to ask witnesses questions that are relevant to the case and to your defense?
Absolutely.
Are you able to communicate effectively do you believe, with the court, counsel, opposing counsel, and the jury?
I do.
I will make a finding that in court, you do appear to act appropriately, speak appropriately, and communicate appropriately. Have you ever represented yourself before?
Not yet.
I do have a waiver form, one for each of your cases. You've gone over that waiver form with your attorneys.
I did.
You understand the waiver forms.
I did.
You have the right to an attorney. If you can't afford an attorney, I would appoint one to represent you. The attorney would represent you at all critical stages of the case, including before trial, at trial, and if you're found guilty at sentencing. Do you understand that?
I do.
An attorney can be of great value and assistance in criminal cases. There are serious disadvantages and dangers to representing yourself. Can you just tell me a little bit why you want to represent yourself?
Yes, Your Honor, for the past 5 years that I've been incarcerated, I have taken it upon myself to study case law and criminal rules of procedure in the state of Idaho and Arizona, as well as federally. Prior to that, for the last 10 years, prior to my incarceration, I did study procedure in family law, and I have real trial experience. I have participated in 3 different full trials from beginning to end.
In family court?
1 in family court, 2 in criminal court, 1 bench trial and 1 jury trial.
Okay. You understand that you have 2 separate cases here. On each of these cases, if you're found guilty at trial, you'd be facing a sentence of up to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 25 years.
Yes, I'm well aware of that.
And you understand that if convicted at trial, that those sentences could run consecutively or concurrently to any other sentence.
I am also well aware of that.
All right. You understand that if you represent yourself, you'll have the sole responsibility for, among other things, asserting legal defenses, interviewing witnesses, doing investigation, doing legal research, filing and arguing motions, examining and cross-examining witnesses, giving an opening statement and a final argument to the jury. Do you understand all that?
Yes, Your Honor, and I'm very prepared.
All right. Do you also understand that you'd be held to the same standard as an attorney regarding the presentation of your case? This would include knowledge of courtroom procedure, applicable case law, rules of evidence, and rules of procedure?
Yes.
All right. Each of your attorneys have gone to college, undergrad degree for probably a minimum of 4 years, and then law school for an additional 3 years. So these 2 attorneys that are here in court each have, at a minimum, if not more, 14 years of higher education, as well as probably, I'm guessing, between the 2 of them, 30 to 40 years in trial experience. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Do you understand that your case may be specifically complicated in the sense that there are complicated evidentiary issues in your case? Do you believe you're able to present a defense?
Yes, I'm well aware of them.
All right. Do you also understand that if at some point, especially if you're in the middle of trial, you decide that you would like your attorneys to take over the case, you'd be effectively waiving any ineffective assistance of counsel claim that you might have because they might like a longer time to prepare?
Correct.
Do you understand that even if I may allow you to represent yourself, I'll be appointing these attorneys to represent you as advisory counsel?
That's my understanding.
All right. If you want to testify at trial, you'd not be able to testify in a narrative format. Instead, you'd need to write out the questions, and the advisory counsels would ask you a question when you testify.
Yes, that's what I'm aware of.
All right. You can change your mind about this at any time. If at any time you want to be represented by your advisory counsel, let me know. I will appoint them back to represent you as your attorneys of record. But once you make the choice to have the lawyer represent you again, I wouldn't allow you to switch back and forth. Do you understand that as well?
Correct.
You also understand that if you ask your advisory counsel to take the case back over in full, you wouldn't be able to repeat anything that had already happened in the case or do over.
Correct.
All right. Because you'll be acting as your own attorney, you'd be expected to appear for every court hearing and every day of trial. If you do not appear for hearings or trial without good cause, I could consider your non-appearance to be an indication that you want to withdraw your right to represent yourself, and I would order your advisory counsel to become your attorney. Do you understand that as well?
Sure.
Your right to represent yourself is not absolute, and what I mean by that is if you fail to follow procedures, if you don't act appropriate in the courtroom, your right to represent yourself could be revoked. Do you understand that as well?
I do understand that.
All right. Do you have any questions about anything?
I just was going to ask if we were going to move forward from this today and if we are going to be able to reset trial.
We will.
Okay.
All right. I did receive your form. Is this your signature at the bottom of each form?
It is.
And I think I already asked you this, but I'll ask it again. Your signature appears on this form after you went over it completely with your attorney?
Correct.
All right. The court finds your waiver to an attorney is knowingly, intelligently, voluntarily made. I guess I should ask you, did anyone force you or threaten you to waive your right to an attorney?
No, quite the opposite.
Did anyone promise you anything in order to get you to waive your right to an attorney?
No.
All right. I do find your waiver is to knowingly, intelligently, voluntarily made. Your waiver is accepted and entered of record. You will be your own attorney on the case. I will keep these attorneys on as your advisory counsel. Again, if you change your mind and would like them to take over the case, you need to let me know, okay?
Okay.
Your current last day is May 11. I'm assuming you want to set a trial date within that last day.
Yes, I do.
All right, we're going to set a trial date March 31st for jury selection at 8:30 a.m. Well, we'll set it at, for now, 9 a.m. That could change the time, but we'll keep the date, March 31st. I'm going to, can I ask advisory counsel, in the event that she wishes to conduct interviews, would you be assisting her in that, or would your office have an investigator that would assist?
Either or.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I think generally OPDS will assign an investigator for that purpose, and we would ask the court to endorse OPDS on this minute, first minute entry.
All right, the court will appoint an investigator through the Office of Public Defense Services to assist Ms. Vallow in any investigation and or setting up of interviews of any potential witnesses in the trial. I am going to set a status conference to make sure everything's on track for the trial date. I'll ask you again, my understanding is there's a large amount of discovery. You're sure that you're going to be ready in time for March 31st?
Yes, Your Honor. Also, I have a reply to the state's response. I know that we said if you were to let me go pro per, that I would have 3 days to make this response, and I have a copy for the court and a copy for the state, if I could give you that.
Response to what?
To the state's response to my motion to compel discovery that was filed prior to the Rule 11.
Okay, I'm going to have to.
I believe the public defender's office filed it, correct?
Was it your prior attorneys that filed the motion to compel
They did,
discovery?
correct, yes.
I remember now. We did hold that in advance because of the Rule 11 proceedings. So you can go. You're ready to file your reply?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
There's one for the state as well. if he needs
Did you get Attorney Trina K filed a response? You received that and saw
it.
that?
Yes, this is my reply to her response.
All right, I'll take a look at those pleadings because, to be honest, I haven't looked at them for a little bit. I'm going to set a status conference just to make sure everything's on track. Let's set that at 8:30 a.m. Friday, January 10.
One more time, Your Honor, I'm sorry.
8:30 a.m. Friday, January 10.
Can I use your pen?
Let me write it for you, just.
Does that work for the state?
As far as I know.
Okay. Does that work for everyone on the defense?
Yes. So,
Okay. Is there anything else from the state? One other thing I wanted to address. My understanding is the state, we do have two separate cases here. The state would proceed to trial on the 2021 case first. Yes.
that's correct, the first in time case.
All right. I think jury selection in this case could take longer than usual. Excluding jury selection, how much trial time do you think the state would take to present their side of the case?
I'm
You
sorry,
don't know?
I don't have that
Okay.
information.
We'll wait till January to talk to Attorney K about that. just so we can block the appropriate amount of time in March. Well, I guess it'll be mostly April.
Your Honor, did you want to set a TMC as well?
Yep.
FTMC.
Yeah, that makes sense. Let's set that for. Let's set that for March 21. I'm sorry, no, not March 21. March 18. I'm going to set that before my morning calendar, my normal morning calendar, so at 8:20 a.m. All right, anything else from you?
My understanding is that it will be two totally different trials. Is that correct? So this is just, we're just setting things and we're just doing this for the first trial.
Right. Well, you should be getting discovery for both cases as they go along, but the first trial will be on the 2021 case. And then at the conclusion of that trial, we'll talk about when we're going to try the second case.
So all discovery deadlines will be for the first 2021 case.
Presumably, yeah. But we'll talk about how much discovery there is we would expect from the state when we come back in January. All right. Anything else?
No, thank you.
All right, we'll be at recess on this matter. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, so here is my 2 cents. Y'all tell me what you think. Yes, she sounds the most with it, most lucid, most normal she's ever sounded, right? That we've seen her since this happened, whatever. I think she's not going to stall. I think she's going to be like, March, here we come. Let's pick this jury out. I don't think her trying to get justice is part of it, right? I think it's going to be a stage, like a stage. It's going to be her time to victimize the victims more. Kay, Larry, anyone she wants to question. Somebody mentioned maybe her like having Chad up there to talk to, these kinds of things, right? I think that she's just going to fly through it to that. And we are going to, like, you thought somebody talking about Jason from Chloe Driver. You thought Jason was bad. We are getting ready to get a like 5-week sermon from her. Okay. Yeah. T-Rex says she sounds excited. 100%. 100%. It is going to be the Lori Daybell show. I think that's why 100% she is just going to be like, yep, let's go. We're ready. Come on here. She saw her with paperwork. She already had it. Hair's already done. She's like, I'm ready to give opening statements. Where's the damn jury? Right? She's ready to go. Yeah, Troublemaker says, hold on. Where'd you go? Troublemaker Baker says, I don't know how she's going to be able to resist getting into scripture battle again with Geb. I forgot about that, Troublemaker. You know she's going to get Melanie up there and read her for filth. I'm talking for filth, right? I mean, just, yeah, and it's, where's Tori? Hold on, where's Tori says her defense is she didn't do it, right? That's what I'm thinking. I mean, because this is like conspiracy, right? So she might be like, I didn't do that. I mean, you heard her. She's like, I've been studying. I mean, number one, she's been in so many courtrooms and trials. Like, she feels like, hey, I know this. But again, I think that she's going to be, I mean, she doesn't have anything to lose, right? This is going to be entertaining for her. And again, she's going to get to sit here and just kind of call out all these people. She'll probably be like, yeah, I got some questions for Gib. Bring her up here. I got a couple of questions for her and her unpure soul. I mean, she's gonna bring a little earth, wind, and fire limo up here too. Hey. Hold on. That's how I think it's gonna go. Yeah, she'll blame the brother. She'll blame everybody. She might be rooming with a Ruby. They might end up together. Yeah, Nirvana says she planted the brother to physically did it. Yeah. I mean, that's their whole scapegoat. Hold on. Thank you forever. Colby called her recently. Oh, yeah. Yeah, she totally blamed Ty Lee. If you haven't followed Colby's channel, definitely go follow it. It's the witching hour here with the dog. So just, know that. We're gonna wrap it up here in a second because it's getting ready to get like pretty turned up in here. We're in that. They're both attacking Jake right now. Look. So hold on. I mean, Lord mercy, y'all. Then they went into the other room, and Oliver is one who puts them in line. He like snaps at them, and so Bo, we're now having like whatever doggy lessons. But I think that's what's gonna happen. And yeah, her defense could be she didn't do it. I don't 100% know. But it's going to be the Lori show, and I can't imagine she'll put off. And the only reason I think she would postpone it is that she can't get, like, say she was like really wanting like Chad to come in there or Melanie or something, and they couldn't, like, for another month. Like, she would do it for that, but not for any reasons of like trying to get off the charges, because it doesn't matter, right? She knows she's never walking out of prison. So for them to sit here and be like, oh, this could be life in prison with possibility to parole after 25 years. Okay. Sure. What's for dinner tonight? You know what I'm saying? So there's that. Okay, so I'm going to run because it's puppy power time in here right now, and then I got to go to bed anyways and start my day off early. So that's it. So I'll make some quick update videos for the other channel for, well, if you're here, then you like watching these, but just know that. And we'll keep following these things here. Thank you all for hanging out. Thank you for trying the dolly cake with me. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the conversation. Thank you for the laughs. Thank you, moderators, for hanging out and keeping the sofa cushions fluffed and me in line. I do appreciate it. Oh, y'all, Friday night at 7 o'clock, I think I have to look. Gossip, Rumor, and Innuendo is coming on, and we're going to kind of like talk about the Sarah Boone trial and kind of revisit some parts of it and stuff like that. So she was on Gigi's channel, Gigi's channel, Pretty Lies and Alibis, the other night, and she's coming to chat. You've seen her here before. She's a lot of fun, so she's going to come hang out. We're going to go over that. So I'll put a thing out there, and we'll do that, and we might hang out before that too here. So anyways, that's it, y'all. I love y'all. Thank y'all very much. Thank you, moderators. And it's crazy time over here, so here we go. I'll see y'all later. Y'all have a good one. Good night.